To be fair, I couldn't be hurt either.
Alright. Sounds like everything's going well.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Echo, Echo, Delta 1 Bravo.
Yup.
Yes.
We have you, Lima Charlie. How me copy?
Aye, Papa.
Alrighty. Welcome back to another wonderful tale of Masked or Not. Starring our wonderful heroes, the Water Being Puddle,
Hello.
the Super Cat Spencer,
Meow.
the Living Dead Girl, Dahlia,
Brains. No.
Wow, did we really cross that far so far? Because
No,
when we're
not
still on flesh. The Technomancer, Jace,
I make things.
the Alchemist, Transient,
I'll make things out of you.
I'll make a thing out of you.
and the newest recruit to prove his mettle, Red Wish.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. It'd be a real shame if something unfortunate happened, though.
Last time, we found out that we are currently a week before school reopens at the beginning of this year. Our heroes were separately enjoying their mornings and slowly converging together while their parents make their separate ways to different shops around Pyrogol. Some to the mall, others to homeroom supplies in the school vector. But as they congregate, the ever-aware Spencer led several of them to Vladimir Butcher, who was being accosted by Mario's thug pals. Vlad, who mistaken the thugs for a friendly group of kids, is taking the matter in stride. But will they remain sunny, or is there more than a neighborhood brawl brewing? Find out today. Speaking of, at the beginning, resuming this combat, Puddles. You watch as every one of your friends start making their way up through the normal alleyway towards where the water tower was being held at. Did you want to follow? Or was there something else you felt like doing?
I will follow putting on a mask that she has obtained in the last few weeks. When they can actually see me, I will describe it.
By all means.
Because I believe it was 60 feet away.
This is too early. This is too early. This is too early.
More than 60 feet.
Yeah. So I'll move up the 60 feet, and that's my turn.
And did you want to describe your new mask that you're wearing right before we shift over towards Thug 3, who is currently...
I guess Transient can see me because he also moves 60 feet. It's a masquerade mask that has been bedazzled with black and blue. I looked it up. Bedazzling became a thing once again in the early 2000s, or in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, excellent.
Just when I thought I could get away from that gaudy jewelry, it comes back!
Well, technically, it's the first time it's shown up
No.
chronologically.
Nope, it was in the 70s too.
70s.
Oh, jeez.
It started in the 70s, and then it had a reawakening in the early 90s, early 2000s, or late 90s, early 2000s. I did research when I couldn't sleep.
So what I'm hearing here is we're going to be trolling the DM with this at every opportunity at several different campaigns.
Yeah.
We can,
I-
yes.
I made my grave. I expect to be buried every inch of it.
Look, if you have a smartphone right now, it's actually a BlackBerry.
So, I believe we are currently over with Thug 3, who is bruised, vulnerable, and impaired. I believe he was currently being held by Spencer.
Was he the one being terrified by Dahlia in her skin condition?
Let's see. Going back over. Thug is dazed and impaired.
I think he was the one holding me. Yeah, he tried grabbing me. That's what I did. Because I couldn't do anything else.
Right. So he tried grabbing you, trying to harm you, and failed. He is currently impaired, meaning he can only do one action or the other. All that, and he's vulnerable. Double checking that. Randomize myself. Limited abilities to defend themselves. Half their right. If when they do their defensive checks, it's halved. Lovely, lovely. It's so awesome to see as Spencer just no. Focus. Thug 3 attempts to try to throw you down, but you can definitely see his steps being all over the place. Spencer.
So I have to succeed on some kind of check.
Double checking. Does a 16 beat your parry?
Oh. I almost forgot to pull up my character sheet. Give me just a second.
It sounds like you did forget.
No,
Naughty,
I didn't forget. It's being pulled up now. And the answer is yes, it beats my parry.
Spencer, out of all the times you ever had somebody bump into you, knock into you, or attempt to throw you, this is actually the first time you ever felt your whole weight leave your paws, and you find yourself on your tuchus.
I mean, this isn't the first time someone's ever picked me up.
It picked you up, yes, but actually, like, throw you to the ground as he was trying to do.
I repeat my statement and regret nothing.
Did the thug get lucky and accidentally boop him in the snoot?
No, the thug actually grabbed me and suplexed me onto the ground.
Impressive thugs.
Tell your friends to back off, or the cat gets it.
There's just this thud, and Spencer's still smiling and just watching everything that's happening right now. Just not saying anything though.
Back at the top of the round, Spencer, you literally find yourself on the ground. Not an everyday
Interesting.
occurrence.
Well, I do sleep on the ground a lot, so that's not horrible.
Yes, but not. That's normally of your choice. This time, somebody made you go to the ground.
Is there something interesting down here?
Your natural perception only sees like sharp rocks, pebbles, maybe some sand.
Is there a small ladybug?
Not this time, but there is a grasshopper, a cricket even.
Eat it.
Sorry.
Eat
Now
it.
that he knows there's a grasshopper. Well, I'm not gonna. Well, my cat instincts tell me eat it immediately, but we're in the middle of something important, so I can't. So instead, Spencer's going to easily stand up because I doubt he has a strength rating higher than 8. And let's see here. So how far away is Red Wish?
Red Wish would be about, I want to say, 15 feet from you.
Well, he'll easily make that distance. He'll just make that cross the distance in a blink of an eye. Less than that, actually. Oh, poor cat fell down. Anyways. Let's see here. So the whole fight is happening because of Red Wish, right?
Yes.
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
Technically, it's happening because of the thugs. They started it.
Yeah, true, but how best to end this immediately?
Well, they were very much shouting at him, so your choice.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were shouting at him. Well, let's see here. I knocked out one of them, and I hit the other one, and that was pretty darn good for hitting them. But they're regular people, so I don't really see the need to go all out and just punch them. Instead, let's see here. I'm weighing my two options here. Give me just 1 second. All right, I know what I'm going to do. What's the kind of emotions that all of the thugs are feeling right now?
There's still fear generating from a majority of them coming towards the living dead girl clutched over, I want to say, Thug 5. Let me double check my initiative. Oh. Yeah.
Initiative's still up. Yeah, I think you're right. I just need to check initiative. Yep. Well, I know how to stop this, and I do know how to prevent anyone else from getting seriously injured. So Spencer's going to go ahead and stand up after watching that cute little grasshopper for maybe like 5 microseconds. And then coming over to Red Wish and putting a hand on his shoulder, like just flavor wise, and looking over to Dahlia, Jace, and I think those are the only two here, right?
Believe about 30 feet further away, you can see Transient and Wilda coming up around the bend.
Ah, that's why he's doing. Okay. So in order to protect Wilda and also slash get rid of all of these really bad guys all at once without making sure that they get seriously injured, he's going to go ahead and say as plain as day, "Don't worry, Dahlia. Don't worry, Jace. I can handle these guys all by myself."
Being that much of a bit, let's go.
That's going to be what he says. And let's see here.
What's he
How
gonna do?
How heavy are you, Red Wish?
The weight of an average high schooler.
Cool. So literally nothing to me. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of what I said I'd take care of, and I told Dahlia and Jace I'll take care of it, so I'm taking care of it. I'm gonna go ahead and who was the guy who was trying to? Is he still grabbing onto me?
Thug 3 threw you to the ground, but he did not hold it.
Then he's going to flavor-wise crack his knuckles. I wish I could crack my knuckles right now, but I've already cracked them before combat, unfortunately. And then he's going to split second come over and basically just karate chop 3 in the neck, try and knock him out.
All right, give me that sweet damage roll.
I gotta roll the hit first.
Yeah, give me that sweet hit roll.
That is a +5 to hit, so I'm gonna roll the hit. +5. That is a 12 to hit. Does that pass their parry?
Let's see. 3 is vulnerable and impaired. Normally, he would be sitting at a. That actually does beat him.
All right.
Especially with his vulnerable.
So unarmed strike is a DC if I have no idea. Give me a second.
Unarmed strike, strength based damage 1, DC 22.
DC 22, it says on your sheet.
On the pour that I'm looking at.
All right,
that'd
DC
be
22.
Toughness.
Toughness check for 22. This poor guy.
Oh no. That is a 16.
So
2
that's
degrees.
2 degrees. So that's another bruise.
Question, DM.
Yes.
Let's see here. Can I use a Betty to make you re-roll that?
And
Not
Probably
unless
not.
you have the bad luck thing.
I do not. Anyways, sorry, my bad.
so that would be days now, sir.
Vulnerable, impaired, and dazed.
Correct.
Alright. Dazed. Double checking to see how long vulnerable lasts. I want to say that's. This one seems to last for a minute. Alright. Cool.
Sorry for taking so long.
Don't worry about it. I'm just making sure I get everything right. So das. So that is currently where Thug 3 is at. Anything else, Spencer, before we move on to Red Wish?
Oh, wait. That's a DC 24. My bad. It
16.
says yeah. Unarmed strike, strength base damage 1. That's a DC 24. But no, that's all I can do unless the DC 24 does something else.
Nope, still 2 degrees of failure.
Well, he rolled good. That's my turn.
So you give him a good karate chop, and you see him like go halfway down, but he's just grabs himself by a knee. Not yet. Moving on to Red Wish. Red Wish, you just got told that the Super Cat should be able to take care of things, but watched him stop on Thug 3, who looks to be like, how do I put this? For your perspective, you watched as he went over and gave Thug 3 a quick pat on the back, as though one of those bees might have been appearing around on his back. And now the guy is like leaning forward as though the bee might have actually stung him on the chest first, or a wasp might have stung him on the chest first.
Well,
So he's
clearly that guy there is not a problem. He said something, the cat gets it. So maybe with the great charisma that comes with being a mascot that you need to motivate crowds, he somehow brokered some kind of peace with that one, and he's going to be giving him a gift. That's not the main concern of Vladimir Butcher right now, though. His main concern was that one that was harassing that girl with the skin condition. Worse, he even called her a dead girl, and they were talking about booting off somebody's crews or gangs or whatever from some water tower or someplace. Maybe they lost a bet or something on some sports team thing. It doesn't matter. You should never make such threats against somebody and tell them to kill themselves like that. And so he is going to go right up to that person and give him a stern talking to and say, "You really shouldn't say reckless things like that. Someone might take you seriously. And if you were taken seriously, someone would end up dead." Because, of course, he knows that trash talk is not taken seriously most of the time, but you should never be so reckless with what you say to people. She could have been sensitive about that.
Yeah, worked her.
Alright, so what do I roll for the fear factor?
let me double check your character page, because I want to say that should be an intimidation roll.
DC 17 is what it's saying, I think.
Let's see where we at. Oh, we're looking at the illusion 7. Okay, so you're forcing that on him. So
Or do I roll presence?
What is the ability state?
affects one sense type, perceives him as more than he is. Area 125 cubic feet. DC 17. Independent psychic. Standard perception standard. Illusion 7. I want to say that is an automatic skill check on my part, and I have to make him do a will check
Okay.
from what I'm reading.
So that would be
it looks like
DC
a
17
DC
will
17.
check.
And this on Thug 5. Let me double check Thug 5. He is currently dazed and impaired.
No.
Double checking impairment. Impaired. -2 circumstance penalty check. Ah, yes, right, that's what the other guy had. Why am I getting all tripped up on that?
Oh my god. Sorry, feeling something else.
It's alright. We'll get to you here shortly. Almost your turn.
Oh man, I'm so glad my mouth healed so I can actually do voices.
You seem to be doing good so far.
I was just in a lot of pain last session.
Yeah, that is
Well, it
3
looks like this
degrees
guy's
of
in worse
failure.
pain. All right, GM, go ahead and narrate to us, please.
Let's see. That is technically more than 3 degrees failure. That's what, 4?
Heart
DC
attack
17. So that is 3 degrees of failure.
Alright.
It'll depend on whether or not the ability has something that bases itself off of degrees of failure.
4 degrees of failure. Where would I check
I think it just means he
this?
falls for the illusion, because it's not an intimidation check.
Oh, the illusion's kind of like an aid to the intimidation. Do I also roll intimidation?
Let's say go ahead and give me an intimidation.
All right, I'll go ahead and roll that also. $13.
I imagine there's a +5 circumstance bonus or whatever because of the
Yeah, because
absolute terrifying illusion.
that is true. So that'll be bumped up to an 18. Should have said that before, Chance.
Okay.
Got to remember to be on the ball on that.
Don't
So,
worry, I managed.
as you step over and make your comment over to the gentleman takes a moment to stare up at you, and just the color peels off. Oh, just floods from his face underneath his collar of clothing. He would attempt to stammer words, but we'll get to that here soon, as he definitely seems to be intimidated by you. And that was Thug 5. Thug 5. Eddie Magicians. We're gonna give Thug 5. He is stunned. Nyahaha. Alright. Will that be it, Red Wish?
So that was my action. What other things am I allowed to do on my turn?
You can still
No.
move.
I don't think I will. I think I'll just stand there menacingly.
He's just standing there menacingly.
You
Yeah,
mean
we'll
just
move-
stand there so that they can misinterpret it as menacingly?
Ah, yes, he's
That would be the more accurate statement.
moving on to Thug 8, who is dazed and impaired. Thug 8 was currently standing a bit of ways near Red Wish before Red Wish decided to divert his attention down over. Red Wish, Thug 8 seems to be a little worried about what he should do as he pats himself before going down and grabbing the weapon on the ground and moving 5 feet forward. No, wait, no, not 5 feet forward. No, he'll just grab the weapon on the ground and rearm himself. That should be it, because he's also dazed. Dazed would cut him to either a single action or movement, not both. So that will move on over towards Jace. It is your turn.
Just to clarify, was the one that was just assumingly intimidated by this person we're trying to help, Were they the one who also hit my wheelchair, or was that someone else?
No, that's the same one who hit your wheelchair. That's why Dahlia came over right above you in order to take care of him. And now he's got Red Wish right behind him.
Well, this guy seems pretty well taken care of. So with that in mind, I'm going to look over at how many of them are still left, not counting the one that's in front of us and the one that Spencer's dealing with.
Let's see. Spencer's dealing with Thug 3. The one in front of you is Thug 5. You still have Thug 8, Thug 1, Thug 7, Thug 2, Thug 4. You have 5 thugs left.
Which of them's looking the most intact?
Thug 1 is looking like he has not had any issues watching you guys throw each other at each other.
In that case, he needs an aneurysm right now. That's a DC 14. I believe it was Will. I might have to double check though, so give me a sec. Okay. I mean,
All right.
my files would be under documents.
Going over to Jace. Lovely Jace. Magnetic
DC
Seizure
15
Weapon
DC
4.
14 went.
DC 14, that is a 13. He fails by 1 degree. He is dazed.
I look like I'm just observing, meanwhile I'm fucking with people's brains.
Thug 1. Daz. Love this little thing we started doing. Beautiful, beautiful. Anything else did you want to do, Jace? Within your
I'm
power
going to be
set.
very upset that someone tried to hit my wheelchair.
Yo, you have a free action if you want to yell real quick. Just make sure your volume doesn't go too high.
No, I'm just gonna look upset. Like, I'm not gonna say anything, because I feel like in that situation it wouldn't be really anger, it would just be like, come on, man, really?
Just so they know how bad of assholes they are.
That look of disappointment, like, seriously? Amongst one of your
It's that look adults give where it's not like they're upset with you, but it's like, oh god, I've done something terrible, haven't I?
So anything else, Jace?
No, that's all. There's no need to break out the mech.
All right, Dahlia, it's your turn. You just watched as your possible new best friend, Vladimir, stepped up behind this gentleman with, some choice words. And that seemed to have left the thug somewhat stunned and poor of words. What would you like to do?
The scared guy is the one who shoved the wheelchair and threw Spencer.
No. Thug 5 is the one who hit the wheelchair. Thug 3 is the one who threw Spencer.
And who's the one that Butcher talked to?
Butcher talked to Thug 5. He was accosting you guys.
Okay, so Thug 3 with the wheelchair.
Thug 5 with the wheelchair. Thug 3 with Spencer.
Okay, got it. So Dahlia goes up to Thug 3 and says, wow. Throwing animals? What's next? Do you kick puppies too? Jerk. And she suddenly shows lifts the head of her shirt a little bit so that you can see that she is packing a gun.
This is another intimidation check, Dahlia.
Yeah. Do I get a bonus because I actually have a freaking gun?
No, you get a bonus because you're already making them terrified.
Okay, yeah.
So we're just traumatizing this kid.
Well, I mean, he picked a fight. He's getting his stuff.
These three thugs came into their own cul-de-sac.
Yeah, they did. Okay. My intimidation's normally not very good, so especially since it's been nerfed.
Mayor, is it a +2 or a +5 circumstance bonus?
+5.
Yay!
They're just fellow teens, and they're freaking out. Making the
rolled
will check against that. See, this was 3. Double check it. 3 issue. 2 bruises, vulnerable, impaired, dazed. L plus no bitches. Plus weaponless. Plus about to get eaten.
Plus ratio.
Right, can't forget the
Plus
ratio.
intimidated.
How long is
What the fuck?
heart attack?
These are some very brave thugs.
Oh, that's a degree of failure.
He nat 20'd, so technically we're tied. Right?
No, because it's nat 20 only gives a circumstance bonus if it's to something else.
Oh.
So
You see his so you stare him dead in the eyes after flashing the gun at him. You see him staring past you with like a slight welt over one side of his eye and like a heavy welt growing on the back of his neck. And there's a couple of seconds where it takes him like physically to realize, "Oh no, I'm in danger."
And does he leave yet? Have we scared him away yet?
No, but he definitely does seem more hesitant about his next motion.
Alright, then I will finish it up with I think you should take your friends and leave us the fuck alone. Huh? Or I might get hungry.
Oh goodness. So would that be it for your thread?
Yeah, that's it.
Moving on to Thug 1. Days after having someone, after he started to come up with an idea, he reached into his hand, but reached into his pants, and all of a sudden, what is going on with my head? He decides to move away from the group instead, and moves away about 15 feet towards the northern area of the water tower lot. That's his turn. Transient, you'll go.
all right. So what thugs are within 30 feet of me?
Within 30 feet of you, you currently have Jace, Thug 5, just in front of him, and Red Wish, kind of like getting him in a pincer maneuver. There's Thug 3, about 5 to 10 feet from them, give or take, next to Spencer and Dahlia, who are closer to you within the 30 feet range. And I want to say there is a Thug 4
Where's
and
Thug 8 and where's Thug 8 and Thug 7 at?
Thug 8 would be 15. Would be about 15 feet back a ways. Thug 1 seems to be a bit further back, 30 feet away from you guys. No, not 30 feet. 15 feet away from you guys as well, but in a different direction, heading more north. Thug 7 should be trying to go around before he stopped in his tracks after being, I believe, scared stricken by a certain terrifying being amongst your midst. So you're starting to get used to it. Along with Thug 2 and Thug 4, who are adjacent to each other, but about 5 feet away from from your initial group.
Okay, so who can I reach with my movement?
You said they're 30 feet away, right?
Yeah. So it would be Thug 3 and Thug 5 that's within your range of 30 feet.
All right, so let's start off with a hide in plain sight and appear behind Thug 5.
Nothing personal, kid.
Oof. I'll take that because I don't feel like using a Benny. That was a 10 versus their perception.
And this is Thug 3 you're going against, or Thug 5?
Thug 5.
Red. Jace. And I take you're just going over to his left side or right behind him?
I'm quote unquote appearing behind him ninja style.
Okay. Transients. So you come up to him, nothing personal. And that was a unarmed strike?
This will be an unarmed strike. That was the stealth check.
Ah, stealth. Right.
That's why I said it was up against their perceptions.
And Thug 5 is impaired and stunned. He actually does catch you right at the last second as you step up behind him. So he is aware of you right there.
All right. Well, let's devour.
And wait, what?
I didn't get my bennies back after the scene.
That's fine. Making sure.
So that's a 16 versus his parry.
1d20 minus.
It's a passive attack. It's a passive defense. So it's a +10 to whatever his parry is.
Right. Impaired only works with active rolls. Right. So that would be a succeed of 1 degree.
Success, it's either a success or failure in that case because it's 2 hit.
Oh, sorry. You hit him by 1 degree. Sorry. His was only a 12.
In that case, he needs to make me. Well, I need to roll. He needs to roll a toughness check of 16.
Now the -2 comes in.
No. And then he needs to do me a DC 16 fortitude.
Okay, so normal toughness and then afflicted will. That's not what I wanted to press.
All right,
Oh no.
so that is 2 degrees of failure, so he's dazed from the hit.
And bruised.
Yep, and gains a bruise, which means his next one actually gets an additional penalty to it.
All right, and he was already impaired, so since it's an active roll for fortitude, -3, he did not. This one did not have any fortitude in reserve, so it's a -3. It is a 1.
That is 3 degrees of failure. He is automatically dropped. He is incapacitated.
And this was Thug 5.
And let's see here. That was the one by Spence.
Sorry, that was.
Or was that the one by Jace?
That was the one by Jace. You said Thug 5.
Yep, Thug 5. Jace's passive perception is ridiculously high. He actually notices transient fill out a little bit.
At this point, I've stopped questioning things.
And to describe this for our dear audience, transient attempts to sneak up behind this guy and Vulcan neck pinches him.
Ah, yes, ever so lightly gentle touch, and then I take rip a bit of his soul out.
Not that that's visible to anybody else. The guy just loses a bunch of color and immediately drops to the ground.
What if Edward Elric was raised a Vulcan? This
Wow,
would
this
be
heat sure is making everybody pass out.
that's what we're gonna paint it as. Because as far as anyone can tell, the swirly swirls has always been an indication of knocked out. Remember, Saturday morning cartoon.
With zombies.
With zombies
I got no.
and other terrible things.
And that will be Transient's turn.
Moving on into the next one, Thug 7, who is currently disabled. Double check disabled, which I believe disabled is a -5 circumstance penalty on checks. If the penalty applies to a specific check. Okay, noted. So this is going to be hilarious because his turn actually is because his was the same passive perception as the thug you just knocked out. So he also sees you in range. Transient.
So he sees Transient still out.
Yes. Thug has to make a judgment call. See if he's smart enough to recognize any of the quick technique that was used. Or you have a -5 on top of a -1 already. He wasn't the brightest guy amongst them. Really not the brightest guy. No, you just think you're a ninja. So, concerned he is disabled, he starts moving away. Guys, watch out! We got a ninja out here! Especially since you are currently masked up, right? Transient, you went Greg on me.
Sorry. Yes, I am currently masked up with a plain white mask.
For now, we'll get the bedazzler out.
Ugh. Okay. All right, so he's already on the way to book it after seeing you just pop out. That will be his turn as he makes a full round motion with what little he can, running, I want to say 30 feet away from you guys. Moving on to Thug 2, who's also disabled, currently freaking out from the fear aura that came from Dahlia. Now seeing another person pop up, making a private judgment call. Ninja, I didn't sign up for this. We're gonna get out of here. Let the boss know. So that's another one already on the run. I need to mark these out as something different for running.
Panicked?
Yeah. Seven. Thug 2. Moving on to Thug 4, who can't do squat because he's stunned. Stunned and vulnerable from all the terrifying shenanigans that came when he just wanted to be a bully. After his round, we move on back to Puddle, as she's watching all these guys start doing some frantic maneuvers. Puddle, from what you can see, you're able to see 2 in a panic start fleeing. One distant away, but still keeping close. Another thug still keeping away from the group with a stick, while your friends are are coming down on two thugs themselves. One already down on the ground, and the other thug still dealing with Spencer. What do you do?
Well, I run up to the one that's going after Spencer.
Oh,
I put myself, or as I'm running, ice is forming on the ground. The fuck? Sorry, a bug just decided to fly into my face.
Immersion.
Was it a bee?
It's not a bee.
whatever that bug was,
Immersion.
it was ice to meet you.
Sounds like a
Wait,
beetle.
What does that have to do with it?
Then I run up and put myself between the thug and Spencer, and icicles, or ice spears shoot out of the ground.
Okay.
Wow. That's
Give me
one
a,
cool girl.
give me an attack roll.
Doesn't have an attack ability.
Oh, okay. So
It just
Bring
cuts
it-
him off.
The power is just ice creation, create one.
DC 11 innate.
Oh,
All right.
DC 11. So
So go ahead and give me a creation roll then.
okay, I assume that's a D20 plus one.
Yes. Yep.
3.
I'll beneath that. I want this to be cool.
She wants to be cool.
It's the
What
first
would
use
be
of the
cool?
power.
Yeah, the debut moment.
Okay,
19.
19.
That's better.
So you come up and there's a couple. There's a single second as you stare up and make your proclamation to Thug 3, who already looking somewhat beaten up, looks at you tensely before he is surrounded by ice spears.
Yep, pointing up to his neck.
Uh, I think I'm gonna relax. I think I'm good. You hear him start muttering to himself. Was there anything you wanted else? Was there anything else you wanted to do, Wilda?
I, Spencer can feel that she's angry.
Yeah.
That's all.
Moving on down with the initiatives after Thug 3, we'll say is definitely out of commission after being in prison and nice. Can't really go around. He's stuck. Clever. Also,
Man, what an ice gal.
he's also too far bruised for any of that. So that brings us back up to Spencer.
Yes, it does in fact bring us up to Spencer. Alrighty then. So, let's see here. What's the closest giant object to me?
The what?
Closest giant object to me.
The closest object to you right now, depending on what you want to say, would either be the house, the light post, the metal bench not too far away that normally sits close by the water tower area, or the remaining post shard that's still embedded in the ground from when the water tower was gravitated out of the ground.
Hey,
I gotta
DM,
really take better. Yeah, what's up?
just checking something really quick. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, God damn it! I have to. So, how big is this house next to me?
No.
No, I really just want to know.
The two closest houses to you are both single floor housing. Like bulkier trailer house. The trailer
Oh.
houses.
Okay, they're bulky trailer houses, so technically they're not connected to plumbing yet, right?
Well, I
Actually,
mean,
no, they are. They are.
yeah.
My bad. So, okay. I'm just making sure in case we need to hide behind something. But Spencer has been defended by Wilda. The cycle is complete. The Ouroboros of him defending her now has an end, and the cycle continues. And now he will happily. Give me a second. So she's defending him, so he's going to go ahead and say, "Thank you, Wilda." And let's see here. Yeah. So are the rest of them kind of fleeing by now?
Two are fleeing. One is looking at you guys cautiously, and another one is currently wheel. Best way to
Wheeled?
phrase is currently wielding a pipe. Sorry, eight with a pipe.
Hmm.
One decent sized back, and 7 and 2 correlating the panic, making their way out. We have Wilda right next to you and Dahlia. And Red, Transient, and Jace surrounding the down body of Thug 5 and Thug 6 behind them, who was also knocked out.
This is an important question. Is Wilder in her water form or not?
No, she is not actually.
Spencer will hug Wilda. That will be his turn.
Aww.
Wilda feels cold.
And Spencer is nice and fluffy and warm.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, it's like one of those like really affectionate hugs that cats give sometimes, just nuzzling up. But yeah, that's my turn.
Red Wish, you do find that the thug you were getting ready to, tango with, given how indirectly rude he was to the young lady, was politely brought down by this very quiet individual wearing a mask.
So, GM, I noticed a lot of people started using their powers there. What does my character see in general? Or was his focus mostly on this individual here, which should be understandable?
You do catch on to. You do see. You do see Transient coming around the corner quite faster than a normal teen would. Like he's actually put in rounds training in martial arts, so he's you saw a good amount of skill in that one quick maneuver of just getting there and then pinching the right nerve to knock him out. You've seen ice spears pop out of the ground that from a person who wasn't recently there, currently in a bedazzled domino mask or masquerade mask.
It's a masquerade mask.
So, in other words, a person was clearly working out and did martial arts, and another person spilt some ice when trying to cool off in this heat.
No,
Got
another person clearly came from theater class.
it. Obviously, coming back from a theater class.
And they're
Both of them
really
seem to
good
have
at
come back
making-
from theator class.
Or
They're really good at
sorry,
making
sorry.
constructions
They're
out of cardboard.
community theater event.
Yes, the community theater, because school hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
Theater, what does that have to do with eating competition?
No, good.
Hey, it could be summer school.
Could
I don't
be.
think they have summer school theater.
Typically not. But, maybe it's a volunteer event. Regardless, this person before me, has he already bolted or is he still just looking at me?
The thug before you that you were dealing with was knocked out, leaving Jace and this new person, transient, beside you, as you hear more scuffling going on behind you. As you turn around to get a good look, you see Thug 7 and Thug 2 already on the fast track to get away from you guys. Thug 1 is a little off in the distance, keeping an eye on you guys, while Thug 8 is still holding on to a large lead pipe. Thug 4 is close by you, eyes actually like drifting off into space as he's eyes blinking rapidly as he's coming back from being stunned.
Okay.
Near you. He is otherwise he is still relatively unharmed and looking healthy.
In that case, I'm going to use another intimidation check and my move. Red Wish doesn't say anything, as he feels like he's got a pretty good grasp of this situation. These people were bullying these other people. Other people were coming back from their volunteer theater event with ice because people were passing out from the heat. And there was an infestation of bees that may or may not still be around. Regardless, this person's passed out from heat exhaustion. So the only responsible thing would be to drag him back over to, one of those little trees in the mall, where you got the squares with the dirt and all that. And so he's just gonna casually drag the guy's body over to the dirt.
All right, so you're grabbing Thug 4, who was stunned, is vulnerable, and you're just gonna drag him over to the dirt while he is, still
the unconscious Thug 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
unconscious Thug 5. Sorry.
Yeah. Although, how much heat exhaustion, we'll say, does it look like Thug 4 has?
He is blinking rapidly. If you recall that, with how he's looking stunned and unaware of his surroundings, he is definitely suffering heat exhaustion. He is approaching heat stroke.
In that case, he will definitely grab him quite forcefully, because clearly this is an emergency, and he will yank him over and drag them both to the shade while saying, "Don't worry, where I take you will be very dark."
So while you do have you have a point in strength, I will give you picking up Thug 5 with ease. Thug 4, I'm gonna need a strength check from you in order to drag him along with you.
Okie dokie.
So that will be a d20 plus 1 for your roll.
Gotcha.
And I'll have to make an opposing roll for the stun and talentless.
Oof. And do I also roll intimidation, or is that too many rolls stacked up and be a different action?
Want to say that's too many rolls stacked up at the current
Okay.
moment.
It would.
especially-
So Mario would be technically part of the action. The opposing strength check is to see whether or not he's able to grasp onto and hold on to Thug 4.
Okay. Never mind. Go ahead and give me an intimidation check then.
Okay. All right. 5 and 14.
So if I had to guess, I would say that'd be a will check against the intimidation. And then the strength check would have a penalty or a bonus depending on how Thug 4 rolls.
And Thug 4 is vulnerable, so any defenses he had is already halved. So
Would that be disadvantage or minus?
technically we don't do disadvantages. We do minuses.
Okay.
So for him, we would say circumstantial wise minus.
So it would be the defense itself is halved, and then you add in or subtract in any bonuses or.
Right. So half of 1 would be 1/2.
So that'd be dropped down to 0 then.
0. All right. So then this is just a straight 1d20 roll. Those legs ain't moving.
All right. And for the intimidation?
Well, that was for the intimidation.
Oh.
That was the will check.
And the strength check.
Strength check. Also going to be fire. Okay, never mind. He is sliding along with you. He is sliding along with you.
I see Limp Noodle.
I'm scared of you. But he's not like resisting as you just drag him along. Legs just still not reacting to his thoughts.
Good. I'm glad you don't feel any fear towards me. Most do.
And you're heading over towards the nearest sandy area, right? Or nearest shaded area?
Near, one of those little mall trees that you might see around there to get them some shade.
Well, we're not in the mall, or we were in the cul-de-sac still.
Oh,
We're currently around the
the water tower area
Yeah.
for the cul-de-sac, which it's technically the area's personal hangout spot. These guys
Okay.
have grown up in that area. You,
Well-
as the newcomer, were just getting accustomed to the area and was passing by through this supposedly normal hangout spot for teens. And as you can see, teens definitely hang out here, just violently.
It's very hot though. Really kind of unsafe in the summer, apparently.
So you do find a bit of a shady spots kind of behind where Dahlia and Jace popped up.
There. Sit tight. I wouldn't want you to hurt yourself. No one
5,
would want
4,
that.
and red behind Jace about 10 feet now. Yep. Well, lovely interaction. Will that be it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Going on over to Thug 8, who was dazed and impaired. Now seeing Red Witch drag two of his buddies away, and reacting to Transient, or the Masked Ninja, and the Ice Girl now, who came out of nowhere. He's making a judgment call. Let's see, dazed, impaired.
make sure you're rolling good in hero rolls.
Oh shoot! Thank you for the stopping me. There's only check it out. -2.
Yeah, he just has a -2 right now.
-2 to his +1 in intelligence, so it'll be a -1. He notices your motions, and they're sort of it makes him give an obvious face, almost similar to nowadays' Pog face, but because it's 2002, it's more like a, oh my god, I know that. Look. He can he free action goes Thug One's pseudonym is gonna be Frankie at this point. So yeah, Frankie. Frankie, I think that's him! As he starts hobbling over towards where Transient is, bypassing the ice cage, and stops right as he gets about within striking range, about 5 feet of Transient, in front of Jace. That will be his turn. Going over to Jace. You watch Thug 8 shout over to Thug 1 as he hobbled over towards Transient, wielding a pipe.
Thug 1 sounds like he needs another aneurysm. That's another DC 14 will save.
God, that mild migraine just keeps coming. So let's see.
I don't have to roll anything for it. I don't have to worry about my luck at all.
Nope, he's at a -2 penalty right now, so
Yep, -2.
He needs it.
Ugh. You see him shake it off, as though he's like used to it. You overhear him muttering something about needing more caffeine.
Well, that's my turn. I'm just going around giving people aneurysms because the rest of my powers are a bit too flashy for this.
Passive.
I'm the only
Nice.
one not in a mask. I'm just a crippled kid. Like, what's going on?
Just give me a deception check to make it seem like you really are just some rando cripple kid caught in the midst of all this.
I mean, to be fair, you just have a really icy cold stare for some reason.
Yeah,
By the
I
way,
haven't
does that
done
give him
anything except almost get hit because my move ability is subtle, so they don't see anything. I'm just here.
does that mean he has a +5 bonus to the deception because it's true?
Yeah,
I swear
'Cause
it's
he
true.
really
His
has
legs don't
not-
work.
because he has literally not done anything so far to break that character.
Okay, so I'm adding a +5 circumstance bonus to my natural +2 deception, so that is a whopping +3. Nope, that didn't work.
No, his legs
That's-
work, I swear.
That's a 4. I'm somehow the most suspicious person here, despite doing literally nothing.
Hey, it's always the crippled kid.
Out of all the kids harassing me, I'm gonna blame the one that's still sitting down.
I can't stand up.
I would like to correct that statement and say he. I would like to correct that statement and say he can't stand these bitches.
Out of character. The solution is really simple. You just need to stand up for yourself.
DM, how did you not see that response coming?
He saw all
not-
the responses.
So
He
hard.
just couldn't stand for it.
He's certainly not going to take this sitting down.
Gotta walk past this joke anyways. Let's go.
Ah, yeah. Walk it off.
DM, you're making it worse. You're making it so much worse.
I think this comedy routine is done. It doesn't have a leg to stand on.
No, combat's slowed to a crawl. It's all right.
Time to roll out.
I don't know if these jokes are on the up and up.
Let's backpedal a couple of bits. We gotta go back to Dahlia. It's her turn now.
I don't know. They seem to be laying down on the job.
I like how you just breeze
I will
past the
take that
consequences.
insult lying down. So who all is retreating and or unable to retreat?
Don't you mean who's all trying to leg it?
Yeah, who's laying it and who doesn't have a leg to stand on?
Thug 7 and Thug 2 are hoofing it away from you guys. Thug 1 is standing his ground, though he seems to have overheard something from Thug 8, who marched up over towards Transient and Jace, but focusing on the masked boy rather than the almost suspiciously too crippled Jace.
Suspiciously.
Suspiciously crippled.
He's been sitting in that chair for too long. It's like he's a cripple or something. That's suspicious.
He's just sitting there, menacingly.
Thug 3 has been very quiet since an ice cage has been made, and he's now stuck with getting the points from this masked young lady who just happened to join you all.
All right. I am going to. I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to decide if it's worth crippling him, turnabout is fair play, or just, hitting him.
I want to point out that if this gang decides to retaliate after retreating to speak to their boss, they only know about the really creepy guy and the cripple. Everyone else is in a mask.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'm very distinctive. But I have
Except
plus
for the
one that I
man who is dressed in a cat costume.
Yeah. Yeah, Dahlia pulls a cleaver out of her backpack and says, "Hey, you want to fucking go?"
At which one again?
At the one standing his ground, I guess Thug won
Dahlia, wait, that's a step too far.
it.
Hey!
There's an established trend now. You've made this happen, DM.
True.
uh, yeah, so let's see. Do I want to hamstring him or just chop at whatever's closest?
Jeez, y'all are brutal.
You know what? I'm
Well-
gonna say I'm gonna chop him because that's a higher DC. So I'm just gonna first I'm gonna intimidate him. I'm gonna give him a chance to like piss his pants and run away. So
I give you that intimidation check. That way I can make a opposition. He is disabled.
do I get a bonus or not? Because my intimidation's technically only a +1, despite me being a zombie and holding a cleaver.
We'll make it a +2, but mostly because he's one of the one that wasn't completely phased by your fear aura. He was only
I rolled a 20.
dazed. You would while I'm trying to make a quick explanation here.
Not a nat 20, a dirty 20.
So actually, yeah, from what I'm seeing, he actually kept his bravery from the last time he did it. So he will have to make another. We'll check. Damn it, that's initiative. Stop it. He only has a +1 for will.
1 degree of failure. Is that enough to make him surrender? Or am I coming in with the chop, chop, chop?
You definitely see him more hesitant to. You definitely see him take a step back with the call that you made. Doesn't seem like he's gonna be trying to come up closer.
Oh, it's 2 degrees? Oh, yeah, because it's more than 5.
So that would be. I want to say. What was it for an intimidation check? Intimidation. All right, so by 2 degrees, we can say that he definitely is not going to be approaching you anytime soon. And if you get closer, he looks like he will be prone to getting ready to run away. He is highly cautious of you.
Alright, I'm gonna step closer and closer slowly and menacingly, slowly lifting the cleaver in my hands, grinning, baring my teeth. And I'll end my turn with that. But I'm gonna ready an action that if he doesn't run, I'm gonna hit him.
Fair enough. Going over to Thug 1, who's currently dazed, seeing as he's currently being threatened and stuck between either doing one thing or running, he's definitely gonna try to live. Mark that as fear, and he's gonna start making his way out from the group. That only leaves Thug 4, who's currently standing. No, Thug 4 was dragged off. Thug 8 is currently standing next to Transient. Speaking of transients, I will need you to give me that emotional roll that we talked about last time.
All right, let me grab my will save. So that's a +5. Let's see if I succeed or fail. That is a failure. I'm not choosing to re-roll that.
Double checking. Yeah, by 2 degrees. Let me do something real quick.
I'm grabbing that Benny, good sir.
Will do. Go ahead and take that, Benny, while I feed you this little bit to start acting off of.
So everybody, how well do you think the thugs will do to survive this? Do you think we'll find their boss?
What did you say?
Wow, dead air. So the thugs are all running away. Do you think we'll find their boss if we follow them?
Is that in character or out of character?
Right now, just trying
Currently-
to fill dead air.
It's currently in character for him because it is his turn right now.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for there.
Right, for me to press enter.
Alright. In that case, my character will
boy.
go ahead and just say, I understand wanting to bring it up with their boss.
Uh,
But... Yeah.
Red
I
Wish?
thought we were out of combat.
Not yet. We
Nope.
still have one guy right next to Transient, so he
Okay.
still has to take care of that.
Hence
once
my
that-
confusion. Okay.
My apologies about that.
I'll look over to Thug. I believe that is Thug 8.
Yep, the last remaining thug, who is still standing his ground, has not chosen to run or whatnot.
You honestly think that your crew could take over my cul-de-sac? I'm about to teach you a lesson. And let's see here. First things first, let's hide in plain sight and appear behind him. Yes, that is a 20.
Yeah, he does not catch you this time. You literally disappear before him, and he's like, "The fuck? What?" Go on.
All right. We'll do a chop to the neck this time. Ooh.
Oh,
That I
dear.
will re-roll. I will spend a Benny on that. I'm not getting a nat 1.
The two extremes.
That is a 27 to hit.
And that definitely does hit his does beat his parry.
All right. So DC 16 toughness.
See, this was 8. Let me double check to see what all 8 had. Dazed and impaired. Impaired was only a -2. So and that's for active rolls. This is his
Toughness.
right. So that'll be just a +2 right now, since he has no bruises.
So he will not take any damage from that, but I do need a DC 16 will save. Tough fortitude save.
All right, we'll have the minus. and he only had a +1 in his fort, so he will have a -1 for it after it all. That would be an 8.
So that would be 2 degrees of failure. So that is him fatigued. Nope, he's exhausted now.
Alrighty. Exhausted. This poor
Which-
guy.
Yeah.
So you give him a hearty slam from behind with your karate with your kung fu chop, judo chop. How many more until I actually hit it? With your strike, and you hear him go give a hearty grunt, as though he was trying to give a guttural scream, only to be cut off by the angle and pressure from the hit. Double checking exhaustion real quick.
He's impaired and hindered.
That's hilarious.
So that just goes straight into exhaustion now. So you can
Yep.
actually remove impaired condition from him.
Goodness.
And I'll be wanting to talk to Mario about this. After all, if you all keep muscling in on my territory, well, then I guess I'll have to eliminate you all completely.
So this will that be it?
That will be it for my turn.
Thug 7 and Thug 2 completely finished their running away. We're out of here! Forget this guy! As we circle back over to Thug 4, 1 second. Why is this acting up on me? Thank you. So circle back to Thug 4, who is no longer stunned, but was just too weak to get out of being dragged by Red Wish. Looks over at Red Wish now that he's done being dragged. Do you even know what's going on here? Those guys are dangerous. And you're helping them. You're just bad. You see Thug 4 reach for a phone, flip it open, and start dialing. Start dialing a number.
DM, I have a serious question for you.
Yes.
Would this can be considered attacking the phone?
Whoa.
I have interpose.
Yeah, that's for allies, I think.
Ah, darn.
Yeah, that'd be allies only.
Only allies. But yes,
Fair.
so you do see him start making a phone call as he puts it up to his face. Face.
I would like to attempt to snatch the phone from him and say something. Would that be a check?
Let me double check your character page. Need to see if you might have something that will use your reaction for that. I don't think you can. Not on his turn. Not with the reaction speed. Unless someone wants to prove me wrong.
Let's see here. Nothing in terms of dice manipulation. No particular items or anything. I just thought I could use my reaction in general for just snatching something. Okay then.
Let me double check one thing with
If that's the
reactions.
rules, I shall abide.
Before we make a complete clearing on that, let me just make sure. Reaction. No, but you can affect it with your luck, from what I'm looking at. So you do have luck control. And it is a reaction.
I'll hold off on that. It doesn't feel too appropriate in universe at this time.
I believe you're down to your last one for this combat. I believe
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm a hold off.
GM will talk about this after session.
Thank you. Will do. The thug can be heard quickly yelling into the phone. So that'll be popping up in cul-de-sac. He can be heard. He's here. The kid you wanted, right? The son is here at the water area. Hurry! Man, there's a lot of cats in villainous memes today.
Well, to be fair, I sent a lot of them.
They
All
deserve
right.
to be there.
Are we still in combat now, or is it ended?
It absolutely paused because we would definitely just sit there and watch him go, yeah, wait till he gets here.
It is actually Puddles' turn as it is still in combat. It is Puddles' turn. You only have the two guys left. Everyone else
Okay.
has either run away or is currently knocked out. Puddles, you do see Transient definitely acting out of character for what he normally acts.
Since Spencer is hugging me, do I have to try and escape his hug?
If Spencer
No.
lets...
No, you can go ahead. He's just it's a gentle hug.
He gets a pat on the head with a good boy.
Aww.
I am good boy.
And then instead of going up to Transient, because I assume her back was like turned to everyone, you see blue eyes through that mask.
Wait, does she not normally have blue eyes?
Nope, brown eyes. They're an icy blue right now.
Well, ain't you looking cool?
And then she'll walk up to Jace and say, "You shouldn't have used your powers on them."
What powers? Because, again, subtle. There's literally nothing that indicated I was using my powers.
Headaches happened. You're using your powers.
Headaches happen to people I didn't do that to.
How dare you give me a headache IRL? So rude.
Guys. So Puddles does make that statement about you using powers from her perspective.
And ice starts surrounding his wheelchair.
I'm sorry, are you complaining about me using powers? As far as they're concerned, I just sat here. Meanwhile, you guys are teleporting, summoning ice. I feel like I'm not the one who should be getting this lecture.
Vitals, will that be your turn?
I can't control this. As they get closer and closer to him.
Will that be your turn?
It will be, yeah.
Spencer. You watch as Willow walks away and heads over towards Jace, and now there's ice forming around Jace's hover chair. You do sense that Wilda is still angry. This masked hero does not seem to be happy, and there are still still another thug to deal with over by Redwish, as was the thug in front of Transient. What do you want to do? How much floofing? So while you're purring,
I unfortunately hate the Wi-Fi at my school because anytime I'm on it, no one can hear me on Discord, even though I'm talking. Okay.
Discord
hear me
forcing
now?
you to... Yeah, we can hear you. It's just amazing that Discord's forcing you to Greg
Okay.
without Gregging.
Oh yeah, it's weird, all right, but it only happens when I'm on school Wi-Fi. Gotta love it. So,
Go on.
can you give me a general run of which thugs are up, which thugs look like they can't fight back anymore?
Bug 4 is still currently on the phone in front of Redwitch. He's still looking like he has some spunk in him, and that call left you a little. Well, you heard what that little bit on the other line, so how you interpret that is how you interpret that. And Thug 8
Oh,
looks worn, but still standing. I think.
okay. Well, I know what I'm gonna do. Spencer's going to immediately just like he didn't like he moved faster than the sound from him hitting the ground could move. It looked like, but he hasn't broken the sound barrier yet. It was only at 730 miles an hour. As he gets right next to the guy who is on the phone, and he just for reaction speaks, there's no reason to get security forces. Everything's okay. Bye. And then he just grabs the phone and throws it as hard as he can. And when I say throws it as hard as he can, he is breaking the sound barrier with that throw.
Red Wish. We'll get to this. All right. So, which direction are you throwing said phone? Which direction are you throwing said phone?
Which direction is out of town?
Closest one will be northeast.
Well, he'll throw it in that direction.
I'm not gonna make you roll. Not with your strength.
Just like hurling a stone really far.
Right. It's not even stone.
But I did specify I was breaking the sound barrier by doing that.
By the time you break the sound barrier, with how old, with how the flip phones were, that thing breaks. That thing breaks the minute it hits.
Mach 1.
Let's see. It's flying at 1,800 feet in 6 seconds.
And Nokia, it is not.
A Nokia, it is not. It's a flip phone. Is it a BlackBerry?
No, Blackberries
Yep.
aren't flipped.
I believe you mean,
Uh-huh.
was it a BlackBerry?
True.
It isn't anything anymore, except maybe scrap.
So
Darn.
yeah, by the time it reached over what would have been like a slight horizon, there's a very visible glistening speckle as it shatters into multiple pieces from the sudden force.
Ting.
Just the sound of absolute shattering as he throws it as hard as he can, and he
Team
just
rocket blasting off again. Ding.
like to imagine off in the distance. There's this astronaut in the International Space Station, and like a little monitor screen goes flying by fast, and he's like, "Whoa, what was that?"
Thug 4 is like too slow in his reaction as you stepped over, grabbed it out of his hands as he realizes the phone's out of his hands and looks closer at his empty hand. Looks up to you as you just threw it. And right as you're looking back at Thug 4 with a smiley face, he's looking over at the distance as it shatters at the point where it would have broken the sound barrier.
Yeah, DM, do you know what breaking the sound barrier is?
I do
It
not.
means it means that I'm throwing something so fast that an explosion occurs.
Well, it's
Uh,
less of an explosion and more of a thunderclap.
Pretty
And for
much.
something that size, it wouldn't do harm, but it would be
It would-
very loud.
It'd be
It
very
would be
loud,
loud
but
enough- yeah, it would
one
be
thing,
very loud.
Spence, the phone would disintegrate before it hit the sound barrier.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
my fist wouldn't. My fist would not. But it's a very loud air clap as I throw it away, and just basically turn back to him and go, you should focus on what's important. Texting is never good for you."
My
Or
mama
is that
gave
what?
this.
I would like to add a tiny detail, just nothing important, that Jace hears through his link to Rockin' Prime. He's learning.
I like the idea that he says that, and he's like, "Mama gave that to me," and he's like, "Or is that while driving?"
Oh, Mayor, could we get a PE about how bullying is bad?
Coming up from the small intercoms over from the hover chair, you do hear Rockin' Prime go, "Treat others the way you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. Treating others less than that, or judging them based on anything less than their actions, could be considered a prejudice and a mistreatment of them. Bullying is wrong. Treat others like you would want to be treated at your own home. Remember this, or get punched squared in the nose."
Punch square.
I'll be a little aggressive, Rockin'.
I think that was my action to throw it, so technically I think that could be everything I can do. Unless you want to count the phone as a henchman, in which case I can now attack again, but probably not.
It's not a henchman, my dude.
It is
Well,
not a
you know-
henchman.
You know, there is the saying about phones being a slit and kidding. Go ahead. It's my
It
turn.
Red Wish?
henches for no man. So my character's, a little bit slow when it comes to picking up on things and reading the room around him, but that mascot just moved at super speed in front of everybody and then threw a phone at Mach 1. Is it
Clearly-
within my character's comprehension that there's something super powered or supernatural going on?
Go ahead and give me either an intellect roll or an insight roll.
Oh my god, this is the one character that he's like, yeah, that guy has superpowers, but everyone else is just normal.
Insight if you have ranks. If you don't have ranks or the advantage, jack of all trades, which I'm not seeing on here, then intellect. If you wouldn't mind,
Alright.
your intellect is a 1, so that'd be a 1d20 plus 1.
Alright then. It'd be funny if it nat 1'd. 11. Is that enough?
That should be more than enough for common sense.
Common sense wise, this cat's packing more than just a regular fur suit.
Alright, in that case, I just look over at Spencer and I go, "Oh, you're the ninja."
What's a ninja?
That could have gone so wrong.
Just one syllable.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That was totally on purpose.
Good night, everybody. Oh Lord. Okay. So once more, you just watched a cat move at the cat person move at super speed, or at least you think it's super speed. You could also just be moving very fast, and the heat exhaustion started to affect you. You're still not quite sure. It's still early in the day. You do know that that the ISO is being provided is definitely still being held around that one thug who has completely chilled out. I'm sorry, I just caught up on the cul-de-sac lounge. Oh Lord, Spencer. Oh Lord. I'm gonna have to do a separate PSA for that one. But not right now. Red
Just
Witch.
make it really interesting.
I'll make it as 2002 to 2003 as possible, baby. Red Witch, what would you like to do?
How's the thug that he's dragging reacting?
The unconscious one or the one that just watched his phone get lobbed into the atmosphere?
The one who can actually react.
He's looking a little distraught, confused. Double checking initiative. Vulnerable. Smidgen tired already.
Do I have a cell phone on me? I figure it's safe to say that's reasonable.
Double checking equipment. Yes, you do have. Well, you have a megaphone.
Yeah, I also have one of those.
And I believe I made a unspoken rule. Everyone has a cell phone at the current 2002, but it's just if you have it specified as a BlackBerry, it's a flip phone.
Mm-hmm. All right, so at this point, all the others have ran off, except for this guy and the other guy he has. Is that correct?
Yes, except for 8, who's exhausted in front of Transient, and this gentleman before you.
All right. Well, these people are going through heat exhaustion. So he's gonna start dialing 911 to get them an ambulance.
Okay. 911, what's your emergency?
Hello. Some individuals made a very poor life decision that turned out awful for their health. I'm carrying one of their bodies and another one who struggled to get away. I would like to see them taken care of. They're over at, and he inserts location here.
Thank you. Please, remain on the line for a bit longer so we can make sure that we get there here real quick. Please, make sure the body, are they still alive?
Yes, but you should get here quickly. We wouldn't want that to change now, would we?
Oh, good lord. You hear some muttering away from the speaker. To please stay on the line and please do not do anything to bring any further harm to the bodies. We will be there as quickly as we can with infirmaries and officers. She
Excellent. Be sure to bring some Gatorade.
Gatorade, is that one of your demands?
There's just silence as he's confused at the word demand.
I would like the idea that he just says, "I demand that you stay hydrated."
Was there anything else you wanted to do before we wrap up the phone call and move on to the next poison?
I think that's the entire of my turn if we're still in combat.
Yes, it is. Moving back over to Thug 8 then, who is dazed and exhausted, looking over at Edward, who is definitely acting out not like himself anymore. And he did not enjoy that strike in the back of the neck. And so he's gonna use the one action he has to retaliate with the lead pipe.
At a -2.
-2, double checking exhaustion.
Yeah, he's impaired and hindered.
Right. So would have been a +5, now down to a +3. Oh wait, oh, ignore that. Rolled in the wrong area. As I always do.
Sorry, didn't manage to catch it that time.
The 19 beats your parry. Transient.
Barely. So, yeah, it beats my parry.
So-
what is its...
It is a lead pipe. He only had so much. He only had so much swinging bonus because he's had time practicing with it. His damage is only an additional +2, so it would be a DC 17.
Gotta do that at a +5.
The pipe bends against your mask, but you barely feel the thud.
You honestly thought that would help you?
Shit. And that's his turn. Moving on to Jace. Jace, you're Gregging. It's your turn, and you're Gregging on me.
Sorry. Jace is very smart, but he's also still a teenager. So in his eyes, he has been unfairly singled out for seemingly no reason, despite doing visibly the least supernatural nonsense in this combat. So he's honestly just going to use his chair to float up out of the ice and start going back to the house.
Screw you guys! I'm going home.
I mean,
What's
he doesn't.
that about doing the least amount of supernatural shit with a floating chair?
I mean, the chair floats anyway. That's not supernatural. That's technology. You
Yeah.
guys are spewing off.
But that's not a natural thing to see at this point in time. It's 2002.
I mean, it's still technology.
Yeah, 3,000 year age technology in 2002. The closest thing we had to that strength of hovercraft was about 5 times the size required to be in a water.
What, you
Sort
mean
of like
to
a
say
pontoon?
you didn't have yours growing up?
Wow,
Nothing suspicious here.
No, because I was born in the desert and didn't have my hover car licenses until I got out here to the mountains.
But yeah, Jason's gonna go up about 2-3 feet so that he's above the ice, hopefully, and then he's just gonna use the rest of his movement from the hover chair to leave. Because he feels like he's not wanted here right now. That's his turn.
Oh goodness! Alrighty. So, over to Dahlia, who is either eyeballing any of the down thugs or seeing Jace go up and leave. What do you want to do, Dahlia?
Well, my victim left, and everyone seems to have it in hand. I'm gonna turn to this new guy who seems like hilarious, obviously, and say, "Hey, you want to come hang out with us and Jace?" Looks like he's already leaving, but it's pretty cool. We can chill.
Looks over at the thug and just says, "You won't be going anywhere, will you?"
I don't think he can. Probably for the best, right?
He's talking to the one that is still conscious.
Yes, he'll respond once we get to his turn. If that's all you're doing, Dahlia, we'll head over to Transient so we can.
Him towards Jace because she doesn't want to leave Jace alone because
Alright.
friends. But she's also trying to get the weird civilian away from the violence before somebody gets skewered by ice or electrocuted or more souls eaten or God forbid someone starts bleeding and then Dahlia loses it. It's just better to be the level-headed, calm one here. Yeah.
I do want to say you did get a great big smile from Vladimir Butcher, as this is the first time anybody's ever approached him and actually offered to be his friend. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you all know the kind of smile he's making.
Yes, I want to see the smile.
All right, and once you post that smile, we'll have Dahlia right about 10 feet away from Jace before we go over to Transient.
What channel do I post this in?
We'll go ahead and post that under Metahuman either Metahuman Profiles, Heroic Examples, or
Probably
Villain
examples, right?
A heroic
Yeah.
example.
Okay,
Heroic Examples.
Mhm.
Examples.
you get this kind of smile.
Oh man,
Except on his face.
that just reminds me of what I was doing this morning, just listening to his theme.
Aw, he looks nice.
He's flattered.
So Transient, the guy before you had tried to hit you upside the head with a pipe. That did not take. How do you want to respond? You want to give him the old up the eye, right upside the gook, or you want to encase him in another one of your weird contraptions? What you got?
I did take a chunk out of him, so I'm gonna make a roll against what I'm currently attempting to suppress.
All right, go ahead and give me a.
Okay, that's better.
Yep, you can that rude attitude right back inside.
The hell? Oh, right. I gotta deal with you. Give me 1 sec. I'm simply just gonna punch him in the face.
No drainy bits this time, just a straight knock in the schnoz.
No, I'm gonna drain him if to do nothing else than to finish knocking him out.
Yeah, that's a hit.
All right, let's see if he gets a bruise, and then let's see if he's out cold.
Need 20 minus 2 because he's exhausted.
That is
0.
4 degrees of failure on the punch.
Hey, oh! You know how you do that? How sometimes you just do a quick jab, but if you hit a person right at the button, they just drop? That's what happens.
Transient wins. Flawless victory.
Was not actually expecting that to work. Okay, then. Oh. Wait, what was going on? And he'll look over at where Puddle's at.
Puddles is subtly glaring over at Jace, who is floating away with Dahlia coming up close. All the other thugs have bounced out, except for Thug 4, who sits in stunned, terrified, vulnerable silence as he watches the group now just not consider him a threat and start moving on.
Make a
Unless-
perception check.
All right, so that I will do. Let's see her perception. That's only a +3. That's an 18.
You notice that Wilda's fingers are turning blue.
Let me attempt to take care of this. And yeah, Transient will simply walk over to Wilda. That will have to be his turn then.
I did state. Okay. And then it will be over to Thug 4, who, after having his phone taken, after being told not to move, and after knowing that there's two sets of security forces coming in, the legit Popo and the groups they were talking to, you see him crawl into a ball and just physically give up. Combat's over.
I think
But-
all the bees were gone. Why did you hit him?
Red Wish asks Dahlia, I believe, as you approach
what was it
Dahlia and Jace.
Actually, I think it was Transient that knocked that guy out.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
You're a little far away for me to hear you, and I'm heading over to where Wilda's at.
Oh, okay. So you're already well out of earshot. So he just looks confused for a moment there. Of course, his confused face is just, blank, menacing stare. All right. So, technically, my character's still on the line with the actual 911 correspondence. Is there anything that's going on there? It's a good thing you didn't have them on speaker.
they're currently trying to ask you to remain on the call. Has there been any updates? Are the people still alive?
Please, God, don't hurt them anymore. If you surrender peacefully, blah blah.
We have Gatorade on the way. Please do not harm anyone else.
I think they fell down from heat exhaustion. Or bees, maybe. I'll just go with heat exhaustion. I hope you understand. These things can get very confusing at times, knowing who did what. Although I could have sworn I saw a strange set of ninjas giving them a beating.
Ninja, sir, are you messing with me? Are there really people injured right now?
I would never dream of messing with you. They are very injured. Please, hurry.
In the background, you hear Spencer going along the lines of, "So what do we do with everyone lying on the ground?"
Oh goodness, more people out. Yeah, what am I supposed to? What do you mean we already have dispatch over? What? Please, do what you can to have them safe. Get them some ice compression. I will have to leave you. We have more calls coming in. To please do not harm them. We have at least one vehicle on the way there with Gatorade. Please, just do not harm anyone else. As
Out
a
of
child
character,
what's going on.
how many bodies are there right now?
8.
No, 4 bodies. With 1, 7, and 2 making their escape. 4 just being completely going catatonic. 5, 3, 6, and 5, 3, 6, and 4.
So he's gonna work under the assumption that the most people you could fit in any one of those ambulances is 3. And since there's 4, he's gonna respond. You're going to need to bring more than just one vehicle.
And 8. 8. 8's down, right.
I think you hear Spencer go, yeah, there are like 5 people here. No, wait, is that 4? I can't count. It just sounds like a lost child.
Right as you say, they'll need to bring more than one vehicle. It does cut to a dial tone. They've hung up on you.
Poor signal. He hangs up his phone.
So first thing Spencer does is go over to Wilda and immediately just start going, you okay? Just like making sure she's okay.
Well, ice
Ah,
is
there we
building
go.
around Puddle, and Transient is dissipating it.
It's building up. Well, what's going on?
I don't know. I'm angry and I can't stop this.
Do I? Spence, catcher, and Transient will lightly touch her forehead and absorb.
Give me that emotional roll.
Man, it's like he needed the stress right out of her shoulder.
You're in Cul-de-sac Lounge.
Nope.
She's standing still.
That's
Uh,
2 degrees of failure, good sir.
Puddles, would you mind describing the current emotional personality state you're feeling?
Go ahead and deem it to me.
I will. I'm just also rolling the will.
Well, yeah, it's 42
okay.
for this one.
I
And
think
that's
she did
3
well.
more.
Yeah, I'll just keep trying to absorb it until you're out cold, so.
Yeah.
Out cold, get it? I get it. Out cold, that's a good joke.
I think it was a pretty cool joke.
So terrible. I'm sorry. Oh god, it's more the timing of it all.
What an ice joke.
Alright. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you'd succeed against the first draw.
Hmm.
I'm just going to continue maintaining contact until I can manage to stop you.
Uh,
Or until you're
ice-
too tired to maintain it.
Ice or 2 cubic feet of ice is appearing every round.
Yeah.
So
Let's hope you fail on the next one then, because
yeah.
I got nothing else. So. I'm going to go ahead and add a Benny for that one.
While that is happening, as the group is coming closer, Dahlia, Jace, and Red Wish does happen to see a young gentleman wheelchairing himself up the hill. Wilda? Sis? Hey, parents are finally ready. Where are you?
I'm guessing Spencer just goes like, she's busy.
Okay.
Well, of all the times to get high rolls.
I
now it's
know. I know.
It's okay.
Good lord. Hold on. That's your Fortitude?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Of all the times.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yep, not gonna strike her, and this ice is really beginning to coat me at this point, so when I'm maintaining contact, I'm gonna start taking penalties at this point.
Man, I love my superhero group, especially since they're all just a bunch of
I failed.
hormonal
Okay.
teens.
Crap, that's only 2 degrees. You're exhausted now, so
I think that would be enough. I don't know. That's up to the DM.
yeah.
1 second. Double checking.
Well,
Clicky, clicky. Yeah, we'll call that enough. We'll call that enough. You do feel yourself exhausted enough to where the anger doesn't seem to be holding you as hard.
Hmm.
If you want to consider that as a way to simmer down,
Yeah, I am. So in play or adjust, I need to hit exhausted. Because you can do that on here.
Yep.
That's not
go
good.
ahead.
Yeah, and transient for the most part is in a little over half most of a foot of ice at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need someone to remove you from the ice?
Probably. Because that is
That-
built up at least up to my waist.
Yeah, Spencer just kind of pushes his hand into the ice easily and gently works it out away from you like it's snow.
Was not quite expecting that. Go ahead and take her. I should be fine.
Spencer will nod and just kind of pick up Wilda the same way he always does, like in both arms, bravos style, and go.
She's cold. Not like,
Not cold.
oh, it's a winter's day. It's like hypothermia cold.
Oh no. So yeah, Spencer's going to immediately just hug her to him, and fraction of a second, right in front of Des, and go, "Here she is. She's fine. She's totally not really cold and suffering from hypothermia. Let's go."
You know what, Wilda?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a toughness DC 14 check. We'll consider this part of the weakness.
Okay. Since this is an active roll, it's only a +2. 11.
I am sorry, but you will be taking a bruise from your endured cold.
That's fine.
And a Benny.
Benny's.
And now I've got to maintain my composure.
Please do.
Yeah, moment she's away. Let's see, you're not doing a will check quite yet because this is in the throes of it. Yeah, no, that's DC 20 plus 13. Yeah, that's success. Yeah. Yeah, the moment Spencer and Wilder are away from Transient, he claps his hands together, and a significant portion of the ice and a portion of this. Is this an alleyway or is this more of a sort of a sand lot?
Sort of a sandlot. It's the underfield area where the water tower originally was standing about 3 weeks ago. No, sorry.
Uh,
5 weeks ago.
It's immediately converted into glass.
Hot stuff.
I stopped halfway through the transmutation.
Alrighty, and I take it at this point you're gonna go rejoin the group as they're getting ready to 1, meet Des, and 2, figure out where you guys are going from there. Because at this point I want to see if we're gonna have to cut it off given time.
Yep.
I do thank you all again for joining us here today, and I hope everyone had a bit of fun with the slight madness that was wrapping this this tussle up. Was hoping to have this wrapped up sooner, but yeah, that's my issues. That's my issues.
It do be like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everyone who's watched
Yes, thank
our combat.
Have a good night, Twitch.
Have a good night. We'll see you
Well-
next time.
Adios.
Night.
Catch you next time. Till yeah. Have a wonderful night, folks, and thank you again to Yuruka Kage for hosting this wonderful game here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.